Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. We're going to talk about breaking free of chronic fatigue syndrome. This is part 3. So I'll give you my perspective. I've had this for over 7 years. And actually last night, if people have this, they can relate. I couldn't get to sleep until about like 3 or 4. Woke up after like 3-4 hours of sleep and then tried to get back to sleep some. So maybe I could get a little more energy for the day. That didn't happen. So here we go. So you just got to, sometimes you just get on with it. Okay, so I give you my perspective. I've been to doctor, took every kind of test. No one knows what it is. No one knows how to get rid of it. So then you're in this situation of like, where do you go from there? So one thing I have thought about a lot is that it's really shown me like what's really, really important to me. Because if let's say you have only a couple hours in the day, what are you going to focus on? What are you going to do? And then if you're just fighting it day to day and all these symptoms, you really start to see like, what am I still trying to do? And a lot of my goals right now, haven't really been achievable. And I don't know, it's made me focus more on like, maybe just like, the personal relationships, like the relationship with my wife, the relationship with my children, the relationship with relatives, and unfortunately, like, right, it's been really hard to see friends. So like that's really like fallen away because I'm just not getting out there. I'm not working. I'm not out and about so much. But right, it's really shown me that right, just looking at like relationships and how I'm interacting. And one thing I don't know if it's like this for other people, but I have heard that a lot of people that have this are type A. And right, I definitely have that. Like I felt like I had to achieve like all these great things to be happy or this or that. But it can't be what we're basing our lives on. Like, oh, if I achieve this great thing, if I have some stellar career, or I achieve this or achieve that, it can't be like you only be happy when when all these things happen. And it's made me really try to take a step back and saying like, even if I'm sick, I have a choice. Am I going to be happy, or am I not going to be happy? And also, I feel like I've been working a lot on in Lashon Kodesh, it's called kaas, anger, and right, I felt like right. The more I thought about it, and you're just lying around for years, you start to really think about everything. Like, right, I definitely have had this from time to time. I think generally I'm a happy person, but also I feel like right, I've had a lot of like like anger, just like just build this up through life. And I've been trying to really just release that. So I'm not really sure if like, if like this anger, how you're dealing with things and like a lack of happiness, I don't know if that's the total root of the whole disease or not. But the one thing I'm definitely discovering is like, right, the more I can like just let go of this anger and not be so angry and just be happier, even though I'm not completely cured yet, I mean, it's definitely a lot better. I mean, I may still have the same symptoms and I may be struggling through it, but I'm getting more done every day and I just feel a lot better inside. Just the more I release this anger, I mean, just the better I'm relating to everyone. So the Torah says like, anger really comes from gaiva. It comes from arrogance. And the opposite of that is anava, is humility. So what creates these two different conditions? And anger really just comes from looking at the world and being angry that it's really not all falling into place for you. It's not like I look around, it's like, oh, the world's not exactly like I want it. My life's not exactly like I want it. And I start to get frustrated and angry, like I want things to be better. But that's like, first thing, it's not realistic. Like the only thing we have control over is ourselves. We don't really have control. We don't really have control over other people who we have the relationships with. We don't have control over these big world events. We have control over ourselves. So we can really choose like, why be angry? If you don't have the energy anyhow, why not try to be happy? And it can just become just right. I don't have to achieve all these great things every day to be happy. I can just do maybe even one little nice thing for one person, and that's great because it starts to take us out of ourselves. It starts to take us out of like all this pain and this frustration and all this sickness, and it's really beautiful to just be able to do a kindness for someone else. And then I know personally, it starts to make me feel better, because it's like, then instead of focusing on like, oh, I'm sick and I'm not achieving this and I'm not achieving that, I start to feel better about myself. Like, start to stop thinking about myself as a sick person, but someone that wants to be a good person and is bringing kindness and happiness into the world. And it's a very powerful thing to start getting out of ourselves, start doing kindness for other people. Another thing is trying to let go of like, okay, the world's not perfect. We're not perfect right now, but we're working on it. We're trying to become better. And every day we're trying to choose between, choosing the good in life. And that's also a very powerful thing. Like, the world doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. We can be happy, even being sick. I know it's frustrating and it is horrible, but we can be happy and just keep moving forward. And maybe like we didn't accomplish like all the things we wanted to accomplish today, but maybe we accomplish one thing and start there as like that first stepping stone, that first step. Just feel good about like, I just did this one thing, even the simplest thing. I mean, it's crazy. You get to the point where like, wow, I took a shower because I've been laying there exhausted for days, and just focus on that. I did that, and start to build step by step, and start to, hopefully we start to, find our way out of this this wilderness. But I really believe that like focusing on just being happy, just being happy to be alive, being happy that we can do some things. We can't do everything we want, but we can do some things. And we start to see what's really important. We can start to focus our lives on so where do we want our lives to go. Like, if, B'ezrat Hashem, we get our health back, what will we do with it? Will we do exactly what we're doing before, or do maybe we want to make a little change and start releasing some of these things? And right, and I really feel like the more I focus on not like, I don't know, just more of a Nava Himodi is more of just accepting everything the way it is, and then accept it, okay, and then try to, move forward as best you can. Try to, do some things and try to do good for other people, and try to be kind to other people, and that does start to transform everything. I really seen it. I mean, trying to break free of that mindset of, the sickness is this prison that's holding me back. These things hold us back. Things of not being happy and this anger, and that's really, I mean, the most powerful destructive thing. So I'm not sure, if this is going to completely cure everything, but it makes the world a lot better. It makes all our days a lot better. So B'ezrat Hashem, we all start to break free of what's holding us back, and then to make ourselves better and be happier, and to make the world a better, happy place. All right, all the best.